Hi everybody! Today we're going to make paper airplanes and all you need is a piece of paper. You can use white paper or you can use colored paper.
Very good. And we're going to make some paper airplanes. I was never actually very good at making paper airplanes, so I looked it up. And we've actually found one that works really well, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it flies really well. Now, we don't have a lot of space. Like if you had a gymnasium or a large space, you could really test and see how far these could fly. Maybe we'll do that a little later. We'll try them outside, right? So to start our day, we're going to learn about Major Nicole Malachowski. Can you tell by looking at her what her occupation might be?
Astronaut? Flyer?
A pilot. That's called a pilot when somebody flies a plane. High flyer. Meet Major Nicole Malachowski. She's a fighter pilot in the United States Air Force. Her job is to protect our country. And we just want to say a big thank you. Say thank you to all of those protecting our country.
Thank you for all of those who are protecting our country.
Yeah, they're all over helping. They're either practicing on, or they're helping us in our to fight for our country, to keep our freedom. So, pioneer pilot. Nicole Malachowski has been a fighter pilot for 13 years. She doesn't even look that old, does she? 2 years ago, she joined a top Air Force flying team called the Thunderbirds. She's the team's first woman pilot. So Time for Kids talked to her about her career. So how we're going to do this is I'm going to be the interviewer. I'll be asking the question. And Alexis, you're going to pretend like you are Nicole. And you're going to be giving me the answer, okay? So the question, how did you become interested in flying?
When I was 5 years old, my dad took me on an air show. I love the speed, the power, and the noise.
And you know what? I'm thinking about someone else who
Amelia Earhart.
Oh, that's how she became, kind of built her love for airplanes, is her dad took her to the air show. Have you been to an air show? Mm-hmm. And so she's gotten to go inside all the planes, too. Question. What makes you proud?
I am proud of many women pilots who came before me. They made my dream to become a fighter pilot.
A fighter pilot.
A fighter pilot.
Possible.
Possible.
So without those women before her, kind of paving the way, because once there's one woman pilot that's successful, it helps others become successful, and in all sorts of areas. If a woman gets a job in a certain area that they don't expect, remember doctors even. There used to be not women doctors, but once Clara Barton became a doctor, they realized, wow, she's really good. That paved the way for more women to have jobs. What do you tell your young fans at air shows?
I'll tell them to dream big, find your passion, the aim for excellence in it.
Then aim for excellence in it. So you dream big by thinking about what is your passion. So think about, what do you think is your passion right now? What is something that you are passionate about, that you want to do to help humankind or the animal kind? What's something that comes to mind? What have you talked about kind of wanting to do when you're older that can help, either helps people or helps animals? You've mentioned a couple things. You don't remember? Well, there's a lot. You've talked about having an animal rescue, right? And helping animals. She's also talked about building a homeless shelter to help the homeless. So those are big dreams, aren't they? Right? But you can achieve them. If you dream big, you can aim for excellence. So here's the last question they asked her. How does it feel to fly with the Thunderbirds?
It feels like I'm on a roller coaster ride, but I don't feel scared because I trust my teammate, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Right. She trusts her teammates, meaning she trusts all the other pilots that are in the group. Because look how close they're flying. Can you imagine if one plane went a little bit too much to the right or too much to the left? That would definitely hurt, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You would have a big crash. So there have been 173 Thunderbird pilots, but only 2 Thunderbird pilots were women. Out of all those, 171 were men and 2 were women. So Nicole Malachowski was the first. So again, she paved the way for the Thunderbirds, right? Just like how Amelia Earhart paved the way for female pilots. Oh, so here's a thinking question. Oh, and we see the Zonners are here. Can you say hi to the Zonners?
Hi, Zonners.
So think big. What is one word that describes Nicole Malachowski? And explain your answer. So let's think about that. How would you describe Nicole now after hearing about her and different things that she did? What is one word you'd use to describe her?
That she really believed that she could do it.
Mm-hmm. She had determination and she had belief in herself, right? And it's good to have that, to believe in yourself and believe that you can accomplish big things. And she even said, dream big. That was her answer, right? I like that. I'm going to read that one again. I liked her answer here where it says, where she tells fans at the air shows. And there she is talking to some of her fans there. Dream big, find your passion, and aim for excellence. That is wonderful advice. And here are some more women who were able to reach their goals. And I know Alexis already mentioned this first one.
Amelia Earhart.
Yes, we've actually learned about Amelia Earhart, and that was a wonderful story. She was the first woman to fly alone across the Atlantic Ocean. Here's Mae Jemison, who was the first Black woman to go into outer space. Liv Arneson and Anne Bancroft were the first women to cross the icy Antarctica. That is a big stake right there. And Danica Patrick. Daddy knows about this one. He likes to watch racing. She was the first woman to lead the Indianapolis 500 car race. So I want everybody to dream big. What is something that you think that you would like to do or that you would like to accomplish? Whether it's an occupation, like what you want to be when you grow up, or maybe it's just something that you have a passion about that you'd like to do. So Alexis, while they're thinking, why don't you tell me your answer? What is something that you'd really like to do? What are you passionate about? And what do you think? What could you do to better humankind or help animals or whatever passion you have?
It's a hard one.
Is that a hard one, you think? I don't know. There's a lot of things you could do to help. So dream big. I want you to dream really big right now. And you too, Zonner girls, dream really big. Even if you feel like maybe it's not something you would accomplish in your lifetime, what is something you think you'd like to do to help other people? One way, how do we start being kind to people right now?
Interacting with people?
Yeah, interacting with people, smiling, saying hi. So these are all good ways that just even thinking big in your lifetime. And as a child, there's a lot of things you can do to help other people, right? And just to be kind, offer a smile, right? And like you say, communicate with them. Oh, and Zachary's watching too today. So Zachary, you can dream big too. What do you think? Zachary could think of something pretty cool too. So there's a lot of things we can do to help. I know one thing we'd mentioned was Alexis mentioned that she'd like to build a home for the homeless people to live in. That's something that she's thought of would be a nice thing to do. She's also thought of starting an animal rescue that would help animals out too. So if you believe it, you can do it, right? You just got to put in a lot of effort, right? And determination and hard work. So here we have a little bit of a riddle here. Oh, he wants a Ford Mustang. Right? Daddy likes those too. Yep. See, so Zachary, if you want a Ford Mustang, you're going to have to work really hard. Or you can find an old one, maybe that needs work done on it. And you can learn about how to work on a car and learn about the mechanics of it. I don't know if your dad's good with cars or not, but that'd be a fun project, right? To get a project car to work on. So we're a little bit of a riddle here. We have to find the pilot. We have to figure out which one is Nicole Malachowski. So you're going to take your marker and you're going to cross out the ones that we know are not Nicole. So Nicole Malachowski flies with the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. We have to figure out which one is her airplane. So how many airplanes are here?
8.
There are 8 airplanes here. So we know, number 1 tells us the number on Nicole's airplane is higher than 2. So which ones do we know are not Nicole?
1.
Right. So we know that 1 and even 2. So cross out 1 and 2. We know 1 and 2 because it said it's higher than 2. So 1 and 2 are not Nicole. The next number tells us the number on Nicole's airplane is lower than 5. So which other ones would we cross out, knowing that it's lower than 5? Wait. It's low. The number is lower than 5. Not that you cross out numbers that are lower. Nicole's number is lower than 5. So who thinks they know? What would we cross out?
6.
Yes, there you go. So the numbers that are higher than 5 you would cross out. What else is higher than 5?
8.
What else is higher than 5?
7.
Mm-hmm. And because it says the number on Nicole's airplane is lower than 5, would it be 5?
No.
No. Yep. And the designers are right. Yep. 7's also crossed out. So cross out number 5. It's not 5, 6, 7, or 8. So now we have 2 choices left. So number 3 tells us the number on Nicole's airplane is an odd number. So circle which one is an odd number. Let's see if the designers know. Do you know which one's odd? Oh, you got it. That's right. The odd number is 3 because 4 is an even number. So our odd numbers on here are 1, 3, 5, and 7. The even numbers are 2, 4, 6, and 8. I want to tell you all about the oh, Manly. Yep, 3. Nice job, Madeline. She got it too. So I'm wondering, because actually Alexis just took her first airplane ride last year. And I'm wondering, have you all been on an airplane before? And if so, where did you go? So we took a long time to take Alexis to an airplane.
We had to take about 2 planes to go to Alaska. And it was my first try.
And what did you think about the airplane?
It was not so good.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you go on a long journey, you definitely want to bring some entertainment.
Yeah, some of it too wasn't just how the length of it. Were you feeling sick? Yeah, she did not feel good on the planes. So unfortunately, her first experience and her only experience was a really long flight that she did not feel good on. Yep, and the Zonners have not been on a plane either. So would you recommend a plane ride? No, it would have been better, I think, if we would have done a shorter plane ride, but
at least we could go to Florida with it or something.
Right. Florida would have been that's like a 2-hour flight. So I can't remember how many hours we were on the plane, but we were on 2 different planes.
We were on the plane for 2 days.
Well, it was all in one day, but it was a very long day, and we got in very, very late. So yeah, so it was not a pleasant experience for Alexis. Well, now let's make a paper airplane. So actually, I've never really been good at making paper airplanes as a kid. So I ended up looking up a YouTube video, and I'll post the book in the comments. This guy makes these awesome. He's got so many different ways to make these airplanes. It's amazing. So I just took the basic one, but yeah, they fly really, really well, and we'll show you how they fly too. So let me see if I can get this up a little bit more so that you can see the whole paper. So you take just a normal 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. You actually don't want a thick cardstock because you fold it so many times. It would actually be really hard to fold. So you just have your 8.5 by 11 paper, and then you fold it in half lengthwise. So more of a vertical. So then you have like a long rectangle like this. So once you have it folded, then you open it up, and you want to keep that little fold there. And then you're going to fold down just about an inch from the top here. So I'll show you that there. So just about an inch down along the top, you'll fold it. So you'll keep it open, yep. And then you're actually going to flip that over to have that on the back. You want me to go a little slower? We can go a little slower. Yep, so you fold down just the top inch here. Very good. And then press it down. Good. And then you actually want this on the back. So we're going to flip it over so you have your fold on the back. Then on this side, we're actually going to use this line as a guide, and we're going to fold down to make like a triangle. So this is a very typical look for airplanes. I never did them with the fold here, but I have done them where you fold them in half and then fold these over. So you have one fold down there, so you can see I took the corner and I just lined it up with the middle line and folded that over. Then you do the same thing on the other side so that they're both down the middle. So then you'll have both kind of towards the middle, and it kind of makes a triangle. It kind of looks like a little bit of a tent because it looks like that's like the door opening. So then you'll have both of them that you fold straight down to make like a triangle, like a little tent. So you're going to use the middle line as a guideline to fold the middle. So let me show you again, because I know it's a tricky. These are tricky to do. I was never good at making the. So it's halfway there. And then when you fold it down, you're just using this middle line as a guide. And then the same thing with this side. This side you pretty much got it right, but see how it makes a point now? So when you fold it as a guide, it makes a nice triangle teepee. So then your next step, now that you've got your nice little tent triangle teepee, make sure it's nice and folded down flat, because it's easier if it doesn't stick up too much. So then you're going to take this actually, let me see if I can make sure it's in the thing, and fold it all the way down so it looks like an envelope. But as you can see, I have the point on the crease here. So you fold it all the way down so it's like an envelope. Good, yep, very good. So now we have it folded like an envelope. Then this little part we actually fold back up to the top line. So I'll show you that too. So you have it down here like an envelope. Then you fold it up and you want the point to be at the top of, or the edge of the top of your paper. So it almost makes it looks like a little sailboat. Like if you turn it that way, it looks like a little sailboat, doesn't it? Good. So now we have that. You want to kind of keep pushing them as flat as you can along the way because there's ends up being a lot of folds in the end. So now we're going to flip it over. And you're going to do the same fold that you did at the beginning, where you take the corner and fold it down to the crease. So take this corner and fold it down, and you just want it to line up with the crease in the middle. So I'll show you, so it's up a little bit here too. So there is your crease down the middle. You take this side and fold it over, just like we did at the beginning. And then you take the other side and you're gonna, again, line it up. So there's, again, you kind of make that triangle, that little teepee tent. So there it is. So it started off like this. We fold down the one side to the middle, fold down the other side to the middle, and it makes a another fun little teepee here. And then again, you want to push down your creases because it's easier, yeah, if it has a little bit more, if it's flattened a little bit more. So then these ones actually, you're going to open back up. And this part I feel like is the trickiest part. So bear with me, I'll show you a couple times because I feel like this is the trickiest part. So you're going to take, you're actually going to put your point at that corner. So you kind of turn it, and let me see if I can put it down maybe a little bit more. That might help see the fold better. So here's your open fold. You're going to take this edge now and line it up with the fold. So let me show you this way too. So see how you're taking it and folding it this way. It's easier if you do it on the side, but that to me I feel like is the trickiest fold of the whole airplane. So you have that folded in, and you're going to do the same thing to the other side. So remember, here we had it folded down, you open it back up, and then you're going to I usually kind of put my finger there at this corner to kind of keep it so it stays in place. And you're going to fold it like that. So now we've got both of them folded in that way. But yeah, I think that's like one of the trickier ones for sure. And then after you have that, you are going to actually fold it down again. So it's like kind of tucked underneath. And then you're going to have this little flap here that kind of looks like a little duck. So you have your little duck there. And see how this has a pocket? So you're going to take this part and fold it into the pocket. And so now it's really tight, but you can feel how thick it is. And that's why sometimes it gets a little harder to fold, because it's so thick. So you kind of just flatten it again to make sure that you're able, because we're going to have to fold it again even. So now we have our flap tucked in. We've got this cute little triangle here. And you want to, yep, that's right. We want to keep this triangle on the inside. So this is the inside, this single triangle. The part that has all the folds is the outside. So then where the single triangle is where you fold it up. And again, push it down, because this last fold is tricky too, because it's getting really thick. So then you take this down and you're just going to fold it to line up with the bottom. So there it lines up with the bottom like that. And then same thing with the other side. See how it starts off this shape? And then you want to fold it down to the bottom. And then, yeah, then it starts getting really thick. And this is when I used to make paper airplanes. It was kind of this shape, but very different, because they, and they didn't really fly that well either. But these fly awesome. So wait, hold on, Alexis. Don't fly it yet. So we're gonna see how we have a couple that we made beforehand, because I had to get the hang of it first. So which one do you want to throw? Okay, so I'm gonna start with my white one. Let's see how far they go. Let's see how far the white one goes. Ready? Ooh, that one went to the laundry room. You want to throw yours? Now you throw yours. Let's see how far yours goes. All right, ready? Oop, that one landed over there in the corner. I'm not a very good aim. So let's try one. Let's try the yellow. Ooh, that one went pretty good. Now try the peach one. Wow, very good. So those seem like they went pretty well. I bet they'd do pretty good outside too. So, well, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. We'll show you how they do outside too a little later.